Hello there, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 4 of the Envision Fitness podcast. Obviously, it is going to be us today, as usual, obviously, Andy and myself. And today, we are going to be using this as an opportunity to discuss Envision Fitness and delve into exactly what Envision Fitness is about. So, Andy, thank you first and foremost for coming onto this podcast as usual, sir. Hopefully, you are well.
Likewise, Caine. I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Yeah, to be fair, you're in a good place. I can see that. Like the way you've been absolutely smashing it recently. I can't be more thankful, man. Honestly.
Mate,
Do you know what I mean?
I wasn't expecting this, but mate, genuinely means a lot. And likewise, I can say the same. What positions both of us have been through this year has been, astronomical, let's say, but doesn't stop us.
Exactly. It just shows no matter what you go through, as long as you always come up above,
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
love that. Love
Yeah.
that.
And you have, Caine, come from it. And I think we both come into each other's lives at the best point.
Yeah.
Because what you was striving to achieve, what I was striving to achieve was the same goal.
Mm.
But with us together, it made that goal so much more beautiful.
Yeah.
So much more beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like divided, maybe not. United, says otherwise.
Yeah. Because my original goal was nothing like this.
No, nor was mine, quite frankly. Obviously, mine was scaled quite unrealistically, let's say, until we broke it down objectively. And now what we're doing is all in favour of our ultimate goal.
That's it. And it's like with our original goals before we started Envision Fitness, it was like we wouldn't be able to help as many people as we can now because we are a team.
Yeah. Ultimately, we're both of us in partnership with each other now. We obviously have the opportunity of scaling it to more clients than either of us can handle at one point. And with Envision Fitness coming into play in January, that's about to change.
I honestly can't wait.
Oh, can I?
We're already ready,
We are.
but people who make it don't rush. If we have that time, we have 3 weeks to then focus for January. Why not make that 3 weeks and just tweaking everything to make it even more tailored, which shows how if we do that into our own company, our clients are going to know that we're going to do it for them.
Yeah. And whether you're a client brand new, what people want to know is who is Envision Fitness? What are we about?
Exactly. No one knows.
Exactly.
So, Caine, the first question I have, which is, I think it'll be a question that most people would want to ask,
Okay.
is with today's date, we've got AI, we've got ChatGPT, right? What's stopping people from going on ChatGPT and saying, right, build me a plan to what their goal is, compared to coming to us, having to pay for our services to then build them a plan for them?
Ultimately, I would say emotion, and the difference between human emotion and technology is that we are independent thinkers and we're not obviously generated through technology. And to enable emotion, it presents itself an opportunity to be given from another perspective, like yourself. And obviously something that lacks through AI is experience. Even though AI could possess all of the information and details, however, it doesn't truly understand what we're doing, and only we can understand that because we know, whereas AI on the other hand doesn't. But I would also say when it comes to like the difference between AI is just more the pride and the accomplishment that comes with it, and it just shows the unwavering devotion and immense passion that we possess because we're not using a generic copy and paste scheme through AI, and instead we're actually debunking it thoroughly and extensively to ensure it is actually something that you know people can see through us and say, right, these are the first impressions of these guys. It's like, obviously, it's taken X amount of time to plan it, even though it could have been considerably done in less time with AI. But for us, it's like, we don't necessarily need it because the AI doesn't truly understand our business.
Completely agree. I think personally as well, like the difference between AI and us is when humans go out their way to then type into AI what they want goal wise. We're human. We procrastinate, we become lazy. With AI, you have to go out your own way to then find the answer for your own solution. But we're coming with us, we will then go out of our way because that's our company. We will go to you and go, we're going to keep you accountable if you even ask us or not, because you've asked us in the first place what your goal was. So, for example, we do 12-week plans. For that 12 weeks, you are with us. We will go above and beyond weekly check-ins, fortnightly check-ins. We're talking phone calls every single week, checking everything to make sure nutrition, mental health, physical health, it's all in place. AI just don't do that.
No. And bearing in mind, because we've thought cohesively about the systems that we've integrated as part of our programs, obviously, question people are going to ask is, what's the difference between purchasing a program from Envision Fitness in comparison to any other external user or business? And as you just mentioned there, emotion, and we scale things from physical, mental, psychological health, and ensuring that even though it's online, that the systems that we have integrated just ensure that accountability is optimized, as you said, through the weekly check-ins, your medical and nutritional screenings, your ongoing communication as well, and obviously the exclusive client group chats too, bespoke health, fitness, and wellness programs. So all these services encapsulated as part of our packages really convey the value that we're going to give to every client that onboards with us at Envision Fitness.
What would you say is the difference between getting a personal trainer in a gym compared to an online coach?
Is this in the sense of like a business perspective or a personal perspective? Just because there's two sort of opinions on this.
In a perspective where it's like, if I was a customer and I wanted to reach my goal, what are the benefits and disadvantages between a personal trainer and an online coach?
Well, ultimately, as you know, it's going to be dependent on how that individual caters the preferences and requirements of that client. So, for instance, delving into each one, when it comes to online, from obviously our point of view, it ultimately optimizes time. So, therefore, we can manage a higher volume of clients. Whereas when it comes to face to face, obviously, again, everyone knows that time is the most expensive currency in this planet. And as a result of that, you can charge a higher yield. But when it comes to the actual perspective of the client, obviously some clients generally do prefer a face-to-face interaction because it provides that personalization, whereas online, on the other hand, can be deemed as daunting. But obviously, when it comes to face-to-face, obviously you can make an initial assessment based on their technique execution, obviously safety and injury prevention too. Whereas online, you can do it of sorts, however, it does impose limitations where it comes from like consent. Do your clients generally want to video record themselves in a gym or if they're at home too? So just a matter of it depends, but like there are pros and cons, but I would say in our predicament, as long as we can cater it to every individual, which we are doing, then I would say we're doing a lot more than a lot of other people and businesses are doing otherwise.
I completely agree. And I think with online compared to PT, it's more cost efficient online.
Yeah.
PTs are charging between £25, £50 an hour.
Mm.
We're charging £24.99 a week.
Yeah.
It's a massive difference when it comes to cost. And through your past experience, do you believe that personal training and online coaching, you can reach the same goal in the same amount of time?
I would say because online has grown exponentially over the last couple of generations, obviously, especially in the health and fitness industry, it's taken it by storm. Obviously, get bearing in mind with like the shifts and the trends that go on social media. Whereas when it comes to face, it imposes limitations, especially when it comes to employment, aka obviously commercial gyms is rent modules, which realistically, given the rate of inflation and the cost of living, people can't afford it. And even though you are operating your own business and technically you are accountable for that, however, it doesn't assist when the company requests a rent. Bearing in mind prices can be extortionate. And instead of taking the money, they take your time, and reflecting back off that, that's not time a lot of individuals have to earn X amount. Whereas online, on the other hand, you can work from home, therefore optimizing time, optimizing the yield and the volume of clients that you can manage because you're therefore saving time. And I feel like, obviously, even over the last couple of months on my own journey, obviously, you knew initially how skeptical might be the right word. How skeptical I was about sort of going from a face to face to an online system, as I've not really been, I don't want to say familiar, but not used to it. But now I see, and the difference between the two, both are good, but again, it's just, individuals have to earn an income somehow, and because online is such a popular demand now, individuals are now capitalizing that just to not only benefit them, but the bigger picture on how many clients realistically they can assist, because they see that potential in themselves, and they know, like, commercial gyms might not have systems in place to optimize retention for members of staff. They might not have, obviously, systems integrated to assist them with their personal training businesses, and it's why a lot of coaches and mentors are available online to help them, because commercial gyms, amongst other businesses, don't have those systems, and it just hinders the retention, and it just causes them to shift career path, which, it's unfortunate. It shouldn't be the case, but it's just something that you eventually realise.
I completely agree. I think the gyms everywhere really just don't offer that higher value of education towards their members of staff. You know, if it's in management, personal trainer, GI, whatever it is, they don't really go above and beyond to help
No,
them.
like, as you recall, obviously, I initially did my course through Pure Gym. Obviously, did my level 3 gym instructing and my level 3 personal training. However, I would say your actual learning journey starts when you're actually in the workplace, whether you're online, whether you're actually in the gym. The course behind the scenes, however, a lot of it genuinely isn't applicable, because you haven't got that practical aspect when it comes to personal training, because you truly understand what it means when you are working with your clients, possessing that empathy, being able to cater it for their preferences and requirements. And if that's so, that is when your journey commences. But again, like, commercial gyms don't have systems integrated to improve or assist their, like, personal trainers and gym instructors when it comes to operating their own businesses. And statistically, it's why a lot of people turn over, or sorry, a lot of businesses turn over in terms of members of staff, because it's unrealistic and it's unsustainable.
When it comes to my own journey in the gym, and I think most people feel this as well,
Mm.
you get into the gym, you either get a personal trainer or you do what I did, which was ask people who've been going a while or on social media,
Yeah.
you know, which is, as we know, massively saturated.
Hmm.
But I got to a point where I hit a plateau. I've gone past my newbie gains, and now I'm hitting a plateau, and I don't know how to get past that. And that's what I love about our company, how we can get an individual who has been disciplined, shown up each week, getting it done, but they've hit a maintenance level.
Yeah.
And I feel like once people understand that we are not only just here for new startups, we're here for advanced as well. We can support all types of individuals in reaching their goal. Because, like a boxer, a pro boxer is someone who masters the basics is always going to be the basics. So when it comes to us and we help an individual, which is a beginner or an advanced gym goer,
Yeah.
we're going to break down the basics to them and show them such a wider scale of how they can reach their specific goal, which online has saturatedly misled them to.
Yeah. I'd say ultimately, I love that. Just because the fact that, like, it's like subconsciously, it's stereotypical, because it's like sometimes you don't want to go to a personal trainer, or sometimes you don't want to go to that gym instructor, or you don't want to go on online because people don't have that personification of what you aspire to be like. And similar when you said about, like, how you just sort of walked into the gym and you were spontaneous, did your own thing, might have looked online or something. But for me, my role model ultimately was my dad. And because obviously my dad being my dad, he's always been in incredible shape. And for me, like, bear in mind, this is just my opinion, but because as humans, obviously, we are, we're born to stereotype in some way. And if I wanted a personal trainer, but I'm thinking, if as if I'm 16 years old, I would want a figure to look up to because that ultimately tells me that, this could be me, even though knowledge is one thing and pretty much representation's another thing. Again, this is just my own preference and requirement, and every individual is like that. It's unfortunate because obviously I know individuals who pretty much I wouldn't aspire to look like physically, but on the other hand, compensate for that because they possess vast amounts of knowledge too.
I fully agree. And I think like we sell just off who we are, not just
Yeah.
physically, but the way our mindsets are. People speak to us and we walk into a room, we've had it today twice.
Yeah.
We walk
I mean,
into a
to be
room,
fair.
people go, wow, your energy is just up here.
Yeah.
When it's like we don't mean to even do it, but it's because we've embedded it in us
Yeah.
over a long period of time through consistency and discipline. From going to the gym, doing what we need to do, each task is hit every single time, each goal is reached every single time because we make it realistic and sustainable, which then we also imprint into our programs for our individual clients.
Yeah.
And it's like what makes Envision Fitness different to any other online coaching platform?
I would say one word, spoke. And bear in mind, obviously, the vast majority of individuals are already aware of this, but bear in mind when it comes to programming, a lot of companies or individuals may merely use a generic copy paste scheme to enable that. However, we will ensure that we accumulate all of the necessary information and details based on your requirements and preferences to ensure that this program that we construct for you not only is realistic and sustainable for you, but ultimately is bespoke. And I think of it like this way. So, like when you walk into McDonald's and you know what you want to order, it's like, they already know what they want and, they'll go for it. Like for us though, it's like, you walk into Envision Fitness or you contact us online and you might know what you want and you don't know what you want, but we'll provide that advice and guidance to ensure you know what you want, to ensure that it is ultimately bespoke to you and which is also realistic and sustainable for you to adhere to.
That's it. And speaking about that specifically, you used the McDonald's analogy.
Mm.
I love the mechanic analogy where it's like someone's car's broken. People generally know enough basic level of knowledge about vehicles. They'll go to a mechanic 9 times out of 10. They'll go, "I believe this is the issue.
Yeah.
Can you solve it?" The mechanic comes around, who's been doing it X amount of time, day in day out, knows cars, but literally knows cars.
Yeah.
The mechanic turns around to the customer and goes, "I'm sorry, but what you suggested was the problem. It wasn't that. It's actually X, Y, Z."
Mm.
And I feel like a lot of people actually struggle to know what their goal is to reach it, to know what the solution is to reach their goal. And that's when we come in and go, well, actually, to reach your goal, it's not this, it's actually this.
Mm. And what, quite frankly, you're right. And because obviously a lot of individuals can lack that clarity when it comes to goal. It's like when we initiate those sort of 30 minutes to 1 hour phone calls per week, they're merely goal setting sessions which we break down their lifestyle again from the workouts, nutrition, their stress, their sleep, motivation, discipline levels, and we debunk how they're feeling, how they want to feel, and what systems we're therefore going to integrate to ensure that they can achieve that goal. But then we just explore all the avenues, we explore all the options, and then we come to that conclusion to find out what it is. But we are merely just a guide, and obviously that's down to them.
And I believe the systems which we use, we also linked with MyFitnessPal to do the macros to really get to nitty gritty of what they need to eat each day to really stay accountable.
Yeah.
The workout routines, they've got videos on how to do them step by step. They've got alternative videos if they can't get on that machine in their gym to reach their specific goal. We follow a 4-step process. All we ask is that you do the workouts, you do the check-ins, you do the biometrics, which is your measurements,
Mm.
And the fourth thing we actually ask for is your nutrition. Please just go on MyFitnessPal, type in what you're eating, convert it into macros and calories into EverFit. Done.
Yeah.
If you can follow them 4 steps when you get to our program, you will be the best version of you.
Yeah. And that's as a bare minimum as well. Like, obviously, excluding the rest of the habits and routines that we can assist our clients to construct. And even in spite of that, like, already, like, with the systems we've got integrated and the overwhelming positive feedback we've received about, how our check-in processes work, making it as simplified as possible. But obviously, as a result of that, it's still detailed, so we can still be in possession of all the necessary information and details we need. Not only that, obviously, these calls, which obviously can vary between half an hour, or even more, depending on the individual, and it's obviously, reassuring for the client because it still integrates that personalized aspect, even though it is online, just to ensure that, you're not expendable, you're not a number, you've got a name and you're actually a person, and we are here to convey that value to you, especially as you paid us for a service which we intend to fulfill.
Yeah, and I think like most other online coaches, they give weekly check-ins, but that's all they give.
Yeah.
And I think a week's a long time.
Yeah.
For an individual, they can slip off. Each day you can slip off. And we want to try and be different and we want to offer that more tailored service, we want to provide not only weekly check-ins, but also fortnightly check-ins.
Absolutely.
And we work around the client. So it's like if they can afford that time out of the extra weekly check-ins, which we do give, they can afford that time to speak to us and just tweak them into the right way. If it is with the macros, if it is with the logging the workouts, like whatever it is, we provide that extra.
Yeah.
And that's why we stand out.
And that's it. Like, even though obviously the services that are embedded within our packages may quote unquote sound generic, however, it's not the what, it's the how and the why. Like how we've integrated the systems and why we've decided to incorporate them initially, just to ensure, as you just mentioned previously, what makes us distinguishable and distinctive in comparison to our competitors, not just locally, but obviously, nationally as well, even internationally too.
I think as well as from studying and doing our SWOT analysis on external other companies who are online coaches, we have worked out that their methods are similar, but when it comes to their customer service, the way they speak to the customers and how they treat them when they're not trying to reach their goal, it's just negative. And we are the kind of individuals which go above and beyond. We're actually sympathetic and we actually understand. And our mindsets, just in life in general, really does make a massive impact in the business for the customers. And that's what makes us different as well.
Absolutely. Like, initially, when we commenced the business, we wanted to bridge the gap in the health and fitness industry after Pure Gym closed. And we have. And as you just outlined there, we've been told by a number of individuals, not just whether it's at commercial gyms or the business hype, that obviously there's other online coaches that just aren't fulfilling the services to their clients as intended. And as a result, obviously, the recognition that we're receiving and obviously the waiting list and the inquiries that we've been receiving are overwhelming, that now Envision Fitness is receiving the recognition it deserves, because obviously not just our current clientele base, but other individuals who may or may not know us now notice the value that we therefore can convey, and they know we will not fail them as other businesses or individuals have to them.
And how we know that is them customers who have been with those other companies who are making X amount of so many clients, hundreds of clients. Why they come to us now? Because they see that.
Exactly.
And we've provided that proof through our own clients now, behind the scenes, before we do launch in January.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's how the world will get about, because they've been with another company that wasn't satisfied from their own service. They then come to us and we bridge that gap.
Yeah. And ultimately, that was our goal we had in mind, and we have done that. We have bridged the gap in the health and fitness industry on the online platform, and we have systems integrated which, to our knowledge, no other business or individual has done, to ensure that we can still integrate both aspects of online and personalization, catering to every single individual's preference and requirements, whether it is online coaching or personal training.
I can't thank you enough, Caine.
Likewise.
Honestly, each day we run it 7 days a week.
Yeah.
6 months now.
Forget my social life. God, it's like you know as much as I do. You're the same. It's like
Yeah.
spending our weekend just working on the business, and I generally don't mind that because individuals know like the aura we possess. It's like we just come in. It's like they just feel that energy and the connotation surrounding that. Just even now, it's like I'm literally I'm ready to go.
It's people addict from it. It tracks them, and it's like say we're training 5-6 times a week. We're working 7 days a week, resting when we can.
Yeah.
And it's like for me personally, I don't feel overwhelmed. Do you feel overwhelmed?
Not particularly, no.
We're just on it. We're just accountable because we take each hour of each day and we really just because that's who we are.
Yeah. It's all in favour of the bigger picture.
Yeah. Building websites, doing podcasts, editing, making reels to help individuals for free.
Yeah.
Everything we've got on our website and our social medias is all free. We literally give everything away for free. The only thing that's not free is the tailored side to that individual. But if you're skeptical and you think, use our videos to become better. For anybody who's watching our social media, use that because it will help you because it helps us.
Yeah.
It helps us build the muscle we want to build. It helps us build the mindset we want to build.
And that's it. Obviously, the fact that any client that desires to onboard with us is paying us X amount. Again, ultimately, that contributes to our ultimate goal, which we're going to invest in due time. So ultimately, they are a contributing factor for Envision Fitness's growth and success.
Exactly. This is only phase one.
It is.
This is only phase one, and we've hit it out of the park. Really hit it out of the park. Phase two, the gym. Should we give a little snippet?
Let's do it.
So, what makes Envision Fitness Gym different from all the other gyms in this world?
Let's refer back to the McDonald's analogy. You walk into McDonald's and you know what you want. Nowadays, technology takes over. You go on the kiosk, you have a gander through it, and you find out and you order it without having to go up to a member of staff. At Envision Fitness, when we do operate a commercial facility of our own someday, when you walk into Envision Fitness and you don't know what you're doing, we provide the tools and the resources on the what, how, and the why. And the how is through our kiosk. We will have a kiosk with our app, which will come up with all of our programs, templates, customization options for health, fitness, wellness, and nutrition. And you can order your own bespoke program, whether you want to do it through the app or you can use either yourself or me as a means to ensure that your program is ultimately bespoke to you. And because of that, that is your starting point in your journey, whether it's outside the window and you have like a screen which you can like have a gander at and you can see like all these little features on. Even if you come into the gym and you've got this kiosk, it's like now we're capitalizing and bridging that gap that no other gym has ever done because we therefore understand that goal setting is that vastly important. We want individuals to have systems integrated which they can adhere to ultimately achieve their goal.
That was the best way to explain it.
you look at your face. I was just like, I felt like I was just like in a room, like public speaking, like, oh, you know what I mean?
Well, don't worry, people are watching. So honestly, that's the best way to explain it. It's like most, and like myself, when I walked into a gym, I felt so self-conscious on what to do because I think everybody goes through that. They go through gym anxiety because they don't have any clue on what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they have to find that through either speaking to somebody who's not credible, going to social media which isn't credible, going to people that are just selling what people want to hear because it's the best thing to hear.
Yeah.
Through analytics on Google.
In my predicament, I was more fortunate than others just because my dad had experience and you cannot buy experience and that ultimately outweighs everything. And obviously because even at the age of 16, I listened to my dad, I made a lot, well, I don't say quicker progress, but I applied it better because I listened and because my dad obviously, knew what he was going on about. But for me, when we obviously rewind about learning, like I was just merely invested into it because the gym wasn't chore for me. It was embedded within my routine. And for me, I thought, you know what? not just for me, but I could do so much more. Let's invest my time into learn about like absolutely everything as much as I can to help those in need.
And the fact you had that, I love that. The fact you had that person, I wish I had that.
Mm,
I wish I had a father figure who was like, right, come on, let's get in, let's get at it. Let me show you, let me teach you what I've learned to become the best version of you. And he taught you more than physical. He taught you how to eat right. He taught you discipline. He taught you how to count calories to become better.
yeah.
And it's like, in my case, I didn't have that. So it was like,
Yeah.
when I was in my journey was to lose weight because I was obese. If I could walk into a gym, there was a kiosk right there, and I could type in, I want to lose weight, build muscle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had to go to a boxing gym and write down on a piece of paper what they did to lose weight, and then coming in. But I didn't know how to count calories.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do that. My food was crap. So I felt like crap. I was losing loads of weight and felt like crap. Because my diet wasn't there. My diet was what I perceived was good. I didn't know what was good. But if I had this kiosk which literally broke down and he made me accountable for a set amount of time, that is worth investing in.
I'm inclined to agree. I look back at it now and it's like prior to me actually starting the gym at Pure Gym, I looked like at an image of my dad in his late 40s and he looked mint. And I can still picture it in my head like years later. And now I'm thinking like I'm at that point. Like, I'm not saying I look like my dad because obviously he's a wham stud in his own way for a 54-year-old man. So
You're not far off, Caine, though.
yeah, well, I'm sure, he's got something in him. I mean, he'll say £50 an arm, so I'll still lose.
Oh, you've got to understand that you're not the same people.
No, of course
You're
not.
two different individuals. But the thing is, Caine, you are at the highest peak of your life because you have been accountable, you're showing up, and you're doing what you need to do. So
Yeah,
I believe that you're the best you.
yeah, and
And that's what we
likewise,
want.
absolutely. And like when you said about like the kiosk as well, it's like that's just such a substitute when it comes to social media. So like when you might not even realize this now, but subconsciously we are therefore enhancing individuals' mindset, probably without you realizing, because instead of them relying and endlessly scrolling on social media, we have therefore incorporated a kiosk which eliminates that negative mindset and energy and would therefore convert that into a positive habit through our kiosk, which obviously that at the time or at that time should inevitably spread. And that is now the system that individuals can use because they can comprehend the value that we can convey to them.
Can we just jump into the program and how once you are on the program, killing it,
Mhm.
showing up, doing what we ask, you earn Envision Fitness points. And what do these Envision Fitness points get the clients?
So, as part of our Envision Fitness website, we have a referral program and a loyalty program. And bearing in mind, we are going to do marketing strategies which involve discounts and offers. However, these provide exclusivity when it comes to our clients. So, as a result of them, whether it's booking consultations, submitting check-ins, obviously logging the workouts, logging the calorie consumption, etc., they earn points, and the more points they earn, the bigger the rewards they can reap. So, like, obviously, I'd like to use like a video game analogy. So, obviously probably not the exact same mindset, but it's the picture. But play a video game, could be what? Sea of Thieves, Fortnite. There's like a tiered system, and obviously the more you play the game, the more XP you get, the bigger the rewards that you reap. Similar principle to when it comes to this system. So obviously, the longer you on board with us, and the more you adhere to the task that we set you by the deadlines, you earn points. And this could be obviously Visual Fitness merch. This could be X% or pounds off a package or a service. This could be anything miscellaneous too. So as a result of that, it enables us to work conscientiously with our clients. But on the other hand, it also shows that we're conveying our value to the clients, not only just for their payment, but we're rewarding them for their growth and for their success too. And it's worthy of recognition to reward them with that, to say, do you know what? Well done. And for that, we want to offer you this.
And no gym do that.
No.
Every gym I've ever been to, you could be loyal to them for years and you don't get anything back.
No.
And it's like, we need to do that. We need to give people that value back because they've been loyal to us. They've showed up. They need a reward for doing well.
Yeah. In life, like we both know, like in life, sometimes, it's nice to, just someone come up to you, put their hand out, put them on your shoulder, give you a hug or something, just say, you know what, fair play, mate, fair play. You've actually done really well. I'm proud of you. And for us, we've just got that mindset where we don't rely on that mindset anymore. But for individuals who do, we want to be the individuals to show that we do value you, and we will attempt our very best to try and stay accountable with you throughout the course of every client's journey.
That's it. And I feel like most people talk about the game analogy. Most people get their fix through winning on a game. Once you turn that console off, you're back to square one.
Mm.
You play our game, Envision Fitness program. When you close our program, you're going to be in the best physical shape, mental shape, and nutritional shape you've ever been.
And that's it.
You know,
And like when you level up in that game, obviously makes you feel like, like you fulfilled with pride, accomplishment, but like if you embark on your own journey and envision what it is that you want to do, like real life becomes a video game because you're leveling up in your own way, not only physically, but mentally, psychologically, spiritually.
even in relationships, I was speaking to an individual the other night and he turned around to me and said, the gym isn't a place for me now where I want to look good. It helps me in my marriage.
Yeah.
I've got more energy to come back from work after I do my workout, come home and help my wife do the pots, clean the house, look after the kids. It made that individual a better husband just from an integrating fitness into his life. And I thought that's so powerful.
Yeah. And it's like what I've learned from my experience is like sometimes you don't want to invest too much in an individual because you don't receive that same value back. And ultimately, it's not worthy of your time. It's like for me, I've kind of just taken a step back and think, right, you know what? I want to invest my time into people that actually deserve it. And it's not that I deserve it back, but people that will actually take that on board and not using me to benefit their own personal gain.
That's why we are who we are. We're tailored. So it's like our consultation phase is the most important phase. It shows us that our client who we have in front of us is going to show up, is going to do it, is willing to try and do it. That's what we want. We just want people to try. We don't want someone to go, here's a package, buy it. There you go. Here's a copy and paste low quality program. Off you go. And we'll do weekly check-ins. Hopefully you can do it. We'll try and keep you on if you can, but if you can't, fair enough, we can't help you. With us, it's like we'll sit down and go, is this really for you? And if it's not, that's fine. But if it is, let's go. Because we're going to be keeping you accountable each week, every other day, fortnightly. And that's what people need.
Yeah.
That's what's worth the money.
Yeah.
And people out there buying V-Bucks every month to play a game, to win in it. Pay for our program and we'll help you become the best version of you. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, especially with like the comprehensive array of knowledge that we're both in possession of as well. Especially as it broadens out to like a number of different niches too.
That's it. And it's like some people make excuses like I can't afford it. And it's like what you need to do is look into your life and go, what are you spending your money on? Are you going out every weekend drinking with your friends? That's £200 a weekend. It's massive.
And these are, I don't want to say that like the direct costs, but it's like hidden costs that individuals don't realise because they're embedded in this mindset and they exclude those expenses because they obviously, like you said about using excuses, they use factors such as like their youth and think they need to, join the bandwagon in this day and generation to make them, like everyone else, but we're not like everyone else.
For me, it was more, I wanted to fill that void. Each week, I felt like I was missing out. FOMO, fear of missing out, and I hated it. I wanted to feel like that hole I had in me, and I really thought going out, drinking with my friends at the time, spending X amount of money was going to fill that hole.
Yeah.
But in reality, fitness filled that hole.
Yeah.
It made me such a more cleared, healthier individual. Saturday and Sunday now, I go for walks and I really just reflect on life. And if 6 years ago you said to me, Andy, you're going to be walking down the seafront, looking at the beach, reflecting on life, looking at the sky, seeing what space there is to motivate you, I would have just I wouldn't have believed you.
Obviously, there's been instances where I've had individuals attempt to peer pressure or manipulate me into drinking alcohol, bearing in mind, obviously, from reference from my first podcast with my dad, being a former alcoholic, obviously that therefore imposed psychological obstacles. So, like for me, if there was like a pint in front of me, I wouldn't care, but just I had that psychological barrier where couldn't drink it. I've had people in my family have had like previous relationships or people I was seeing attempt to get me to drink and, quite frankly, all of them failed. And I get some intentions may differentiate from others. Like some people might just generally want me to overcome that barrier, and some people might just be doing it for, manipulation or peer pressure. But ultimately, like, it's my choice and they just have to respect my choice. But literally, I just say to people, I've got better things to do. Like, I can't be bothered going out, getting wasted, spending excessive amount of money. And for what? Yeah, it's all a bit of fun, having a laugh, having a chat. But I'm like, I've got better things to do. But that's just my opinion.
And if you want to do that, you don't need alcohol. Most people's perception of drinking is so they can socialise.
Yeah.
That's the way the media and the world has perceived it. Like you have to be in a certain state of mind which isn't sober.
Yeah.
To go out and talk to people.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Well, it's like for me, like, you know me, I don't even need to drink alcohol to join the bandwagon. I'll just be thinking I'm drunk anyway without drinking.
The term drunk is not in control. And realistically, alcohol just doesn't benefit you at all. Anybody who does drink, like I do drink, not often, but I do drink. And anybody who does drink will agree with me when I say, you go on a night out, the next day you say, why not do that? I regretted it. Every person regrets it. Once again, Caine, thank you.
Likewise, man.
Thank you for just showing up and doing what needs to be done so we get to where we are now. I really do appreciate it.
Likewise, man. Genuinely, I do. I mean, how much progress we made in such short time is just more than I ever could have possibly imagined. But obviously, people will be looking forward to the next podcast, I'm sure. But if there is any podcast that you would like Andy and I to do for the near future, or if you would like us to invite any guests, feel free to either comment or tag those individuals in the comment section down below. And we'll see you very soon, guys.
Thank you. Episode 4 of Mindful Movement.
Thank you, Envisioners. We'll see you very soon, and have a good one.